When I look back at everything now, I still feel a quiet ache in my chest. Not anger or hatred, just a deep, soft sadness. Because the people who hurt me the most were the people I loved the most, my boyfriend and my best friend. And I learned the truth only when it was already too late. I always believed I understood love. To me, love meant trust, loyalty, and comfort, a safe place where the heart could rest. For 3 years, I thought I had all of that with Daniel. He was calm, gentle, and caring in his own way. He made me feel chosen. And beside him, in another corner of my life, there was Sarah, my best friend since childhood. The girl who knew every chapter of my life, every fear, every dream, every fragile piece of my heart. She knew how much I loved Daniel. I trusted both of them with all the innocence of someone who never imagined betrayal could come from the people closest to her. Back then, my life felt simple. Work during the day, weekends with Daniel, long conversations with Sarah about the future. They were the two people I felt safest with. I never imagined they were secretly growing closer in ways I could not see. At first, the signs were very small. Sarah sometimes asks questions about Daniel that felt a little strange, like, does he talk about me, or did he mention anything I said? And Daniel became thoughtful, distant at times, as if he carried a silent burden. Whenever I asked if something was wrong, he would smile softly and say, I'm just tired. I wanted to believe him, so I did. Their small glances, their quiet familiarity, the casual comfort between them, they all felt innocent to me then. My heart whispered that something was wrong, but my mind insisted that I was imagining things. So I silenced my doubts the way people do when they trust too deeply. And while I trusted, they hid. The day the truth came out was an ordinary day. Daniel said he would work late. Sarah said she had to visit her aunt. I believed both without hesitation. That evening, I decided to surprise Daniel with his favorite dinner. I cooked everything with love, packed it neatly, and went to his apartment. When I arrived, his lights were on. Strange, since he was supposed to come home late. A quiet unease settled in my chest, but I tried to ignore it. I told myself he must be tired or distracted. Still, my hands trembled slightly as I climbed the stairs. Before I reached his door, I heard voices. 2 voices. His and Sarah's. Their tones were soft, too soft, filled with the closeness that pierced straight through me. At first, I froze. I tried to tell myself that maybe something unexpected happened. Maybe Sarah needed help. But when I heard her laugh, her warm, familiar laugh, and Daniel whisper something that made her laugh harder, the truth hit me before I even opened the door. When I finally pushed it open, the world seemed to fall silent. There they were, sitting too close, looking too comfortable, eyes widening in shock when they saw me standing there with a bag of warm food turning cold in my hands. None of us spoke for several seconds. It felt like the air had turned heavy. Finally, Daniel whispered the oldest sentence in the world. This isn't what you think. But it was exactly what I thought and exactly what I feared. I didn't scream, I didn't cry, I didn't ask why. I simply said, with a voice I barely recognized, I trusted both of you. And then I turned around and walked out. My legs felt weak. My heart felt numb. I heard Sarah calling my name behind me, but her voice sounded far away, as if coming from another lifetime. That night, everything I believed in changed. Later, Sarah confessed. It had started months ago. Small conversations, little secrets, moments shared behind my back. She said she didn't mean for it to happen. Daniel said he was confused. They both said they were sorry. But their apologies felt empty, like dust in the wind. The truth was simple. While I loved them openly, they loved each other silently. I asked only one question. Why didn't you tell me? They gave no real answer, because betrayal never has a good one. The days that followed were painfully quiet, not because I isolated myself, but because something inside me had broken. I had lost a relationship and a friendship at the same time, and the weight of that loss was heavier than anything I had ever felt. I spent days replaying moments, memories, jokes, and conversations, trying to see the signs I had missed. I wondered if I wasn't enough, if I was somehow the reason this happened. But slowly, with time, I understood the truth. Their betrayal spoke about them, not about my worth. Healing came softly, almost silently. I took long walks. I cooked for myself. I claim my room not to erase memories, but to reclaim space. One day, as I sat watching the sunset, a peaceful thought rose inside me. I survived. I survived the heartbreak I never saw coming, the disappointment I never deserved, the loneliness that followed. Healing did not come all at once. It came gently, the way dawn replaces night. Quiet, slow, but certain. I forgave myself, not for trusting, but for loving sincerely. I learned that losing people is not the end of life, even when it feels like it. Today, when I think of Daniel and Sarah, I feel no anger, just distance. A soft understanding that some people are meant only for certain chapters of our lives, not the whole story. And their chapter in my life simply ended. They taught me something important. Betrayal is not the final page. It is simply the turning point. It pushes you towards yourself, towards strength, towards healing. Today, my heart is peaceful. I know that real love, honest love, still exists. And when it finally finds me, it will not come with secrets or shadows. It will come with truth, with gentleness, with peace. My story is not about betrayal. It is about survival. It is about healing. It is about rediscovering myself. And even though I learned the truth too late, I learned something more valuable. I am stronger than the people who broke me. This is my story.